Chosen one, listen with your whole heart. Your presence here is no accident. You were not randomly led to this message. Every step has been directed by heaven because you have arrived at the doorway of an extraordinary season prepared specifically for you. This is more than perfect timing. It is a sacred encounter where God's eternal purpose meets your present reality. The distance between the natural and the supernatural is narrowing as the Lord begins to reveal what He promised long ago. A season of supernatural increase has been reserved for this moment, and heaven is positioning you to receive what was prepared before you ever saw it coming. Every hardship you endured, every season of waiting, and every hidden chapter of your journey has served a greater purpose. None of it was meaningless. It was shaping your character and preparing your hands for what was to come. As Habakkuk 2:3 reminds us, for the vision awaits an appointed time, though it lingers, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Chosen one, that appointed time is no longer ahead of you. It has arrived. You are not simply hearing another inspirational message. You are receiving a prophetic reminder that the season of limitation is ending and a new season of abundance is beginning. Lift your expectations. Open your heart. Heaven is making room for blessings that exceed anything you have imagined. What God has prepared is already on its way. The answer has been released, and your life is approaching a transformation that will testify to His faithfulness. Those who once overlooked your journey will one day stand in amazement as they witness what only God could accomplish. Chosen one, allow these words to settle deeply within your spirit. You are standing at the edge of a breakthrough that your natural understanding can barely comprehend. The promise before you is greater than your past experiences and larger than your greatest expectations. For a long time, you have carried unanswered prayers, quiet disappointments, and unseen battles that no one else fully understood. There were nights when hope felt distant and mornings when you wondered whether anything would ever change. Yet you are here today because heaven has intentionally brought you to this moment. This is not chance. It is God's appointed time to announce that a supernatural shift has already begun, and your life is being positioned to receive everything He has faithfully prepared for you. This is more than a financial breakthrough. It is a divine release of provision, peace, and purpose that will transform how you see yourself and how the world sees you. I know what it feels like to stand in that space between promise and manifestation, where your bank account looks empty, but your faith is still whispering, "Hold on, I've been there," clinging to hope when nothing in the natural made sense. And it was in those moments of surrender, when I had no strength left to fight, that God showed me He had already made a way. Chosen one, that same God who carried me through is about to carry you into a season of undeniable abundance. You're not stepping into this blessing because of luck, or because you fought hard than everyone else, or even because you did everything perfectly. You're stepping into it because God's timing has arrived. The doors that were shut are now creaking open. The no's you endured were not rejections, but divine redirections preparing you for a greater yes. This billionaire's blessing is not about money alone, though you will see financial miracles that leave you in awe. It is about walking in a richness of spirit, a wealth of vision, and a life so full of light that people will see God's hand all over you. Think of how Joseph went from the pit to the palace. He didn't get there by chance. It was because heaven had already written the script. In the same way, your story has been written, and this chapter is about your elevation. But hear me. This transfer comes with responsibility. You are not being blessed so you can hoard, fear, or prove people wrong. You are being blessed so that you can become a vessel, a living testimony of God's goodness in the earth. This is why the pressure was so heavy, why the waiting was so long. God was shaping you, refining you, teaching you to trust Him completely, so that when the blessing arrived, you would carry it with wisdom and humility. Chosen one, your season of scarcity has expired. The heavens are opening, and a flow of abundance is being released into your life. But it's not random. It's targeted, it's aligned, and it has your name on it. Your task now is simple. Open your heart, lift your head, and walk forward in faith. Because what's arriving isn't just enough to cover your needs. It's more than enough to rewrite your story. Chosen one, let's go deeper into this word. The blessing that God is sending your way has not been delayed. It has been divinely scheduled. You may feel like you have been waiting for far too long, wondering if heaven forgot your name, wondering if the promises whispered to your spirit were just your imagination. But I assure you, they were not. What you thought was delay was actually design. Heaven was not ignoring you. It was preparing you. I can testify from my own life. I've had seasons where it felt like everything was standing still. I worked hard, prayed hard, and gave my best. Yet doors stayed shut. Every yes I thought was secure suddenly turned into a no. I would lie awake at night, staring at the ceiling, asking, God, did I miss it? Did I fail somewhere? But as the years passed and hindsight revealed the truth, I realized something powerful. Those waiting seasons were not wasted. They were the very groundwork for the life I am walking in today. God used what I thought was silence to sharpen my character, to prune my circle, to prepare me for blessings I couldn't have handled before. Chosen one, that's exactly what He's been doing for you. Every closed door was protection. Every setback was a redirection. Every lonely season was preparation. And now, because you endured, you are about to step into a release that will make sense of it all. What's coming isn't just money in your account. Though financial miracles are already moving in your direction, what's coming is positioning. God is about to place you in spaces you could never enter on your own. People with influence, resources, and authority are about to be drawn to you. Your name will be spoken in rooms where you've never stepped foot, and favor will open doors that effort never could. This is what a billionaire's blessing looks like. It's more than currency. It's access. It's legacy. It's alignment. And this time, it's safe. For too long, you lived with the fear that every good thing might vanish just as quickly as it appeared. You've tasted blessings that slipped through your fingers, opportunities that dissolved overnight, and it left you cautious, even suspicious of hope. But chosen one, hear me. This transfer is different. This blessing is not fragile. It's not conditional on man's approval or the world's systems. This is provision signed and sealed by heaven itself. It is backed by divine authority, and no one can revoke it. You've been faithful in the little things. You kept sowing when you had little left to give. You encouraged others, even when your own heart was breaking. You stayed on your path when it would have been easier to quit. And heaven has recorded every act of obedience, every hidden sacrifice, every tear you thought no one saw. Now the reward is arriving, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Not just enough to cover your needs, but enough to overflow into generations after you. So, don't shrink back now. Don't question your worthiness. Don't let the voice of fear convince you that this is too good to be true. Stentel. Lift your eyes. Envision the life God has been preparing you for. A life where you thrive instead of merely survive. A life where overflow is your new normal. Chosen one. The billionaire's blessing is not a rumor. It is not distant. It is here, and it has your name written on it. Chosen one. Let me speak this clearly. The blessing that is coming upon you is not just about increase. It's about transformation. Yes, financial miracles are on their way. Unexpected deposits, debts dissolving, opportunities that seem to fall straight out of heaven, but what God is doing goes much deeper than money. He is reordering your life from the inside out. Think of it this way. Abundance is not only measured by what's in your bank account. True abundance touches your relationships, your health, your sense of peace, your clarity of purpose, even your joy when you wake up in the morning. And that's what this billionaire's blessing carries. A wholeness that radiates through every part of your life. I remember when I first experienced a glimpse of this kind of transformation. I was focused on bills, worried about how to get by. I prayed for provision. But God gave me more than provision. He gave me perspective. Instead of chasing money, He taught me to seek His kingdom first. And suddenly, doors opened I never knocked on. Peace returned where anxiety once lived. Friendships were restored. Opportunities came that had nothing to do with my resume, but everything to do with His favor. That is the nature of divine blessing. It doesn't just fix one area. It floods every area. Chosen one. God is positioning you the same way. The billionaire's blessing will make you a living testimony, a light that shines in the dark. People will see the shift in you. They'll notice the glow on your face, the calm in your spirit, the boldness in your voice. And they will ask, what changed? And you will point them back to the source, the one who funds visions, heals wounds, and restores futures. This blessing is also a call to alignment. You don't have to strive or chase or exhaust yourself trying to make it happen. The world says, work harder, hustle more, burn yourself out just to survive. But God's word whispers something different. Seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. When your heart is aligned with heaven, resources flow naturally. Doors open without force. Blessings chase you down instead of you chasing them. Chosen one. This is your reminder. You were never created for scarcity. You were created for greatness, for overflow, for a life that reflects God's goodness in visible ways. This billionaire's blessing is not a reward for perfection. It is not payment for performance. It is evidence of identity. You are chosen. You are beloved. And because of who you are in Him, heaven is pouring out favor that will shock even you. Get ready for the ripple effect. As the blessing begins to manifest, your relationships will heal. Your vision will sharpen. Your spirit will overflow with joy. You will not only rise for yourself, but you will lift others as you go. This is how God works. He blesses you so that you can become the channel of blessing for those around you. Chosen one. This is your moment. The floodgates are opening, and your life is about to become the evidence that God is faithful to His promises. Chosen one. Let me take you deeper. This billionaire's blessing is not simply about the resources you will one day see in your hands. It is first and foremost about what God is shaping inside your heart. because every great outpouring carries a holy weight of responsibility, and heaven does not pour into a vessel that is not prepared to overflow. This is why you have walked through seasons that tested your soul, the waiting that felt endless, the stretching that pulled you beyond your comfort, the lonely nights when you wondered if God had forgotten you. Those moments were not wasted. They were the chisels in the Master's hand, enlarging your capacity so that when the blessing arrives, you will not break under the glory of its weight. Think for a moment about Joseph. Before he ever wore the robe of authority in Pharaoh's palace, he first wore the heavy chains of a prison cell. He was betrayed by his brothers, sold as a slave, and abandoned by those he once helped. Yet through it all, he was never abandoned by God. The word records that even in the darkness, the Lord was with him and made everything he did prosper. That same unshakable favor rests on you now. Chosen one, your setbacks were never the end. They were setups. Your detours were not mistakes. They were hidden directions, guiding you toward destiny. Every tear, every trial, every closed door was secretly preparing you for a transfer that will not just elevate your life, but transform the generations that come after you. Chosen one, hear this clearly. The blessing that is on its way will carry both provision and purpose. It will not be a stagnant pool of wealth that sits unused. It will be a river flowing and multiplying. It will heal broken dreams in your family line. It will rewrite generational stories of struggle into living testimonies of triumph. You will become the one who changes the narrative. Those who once doubted you, mocked you, or dismissed, you will have no choice but to acknowledge the undeniable hand of God moving upon your life. But with this promise comes a sacred responsibility. With great blessing comes a call to live differently. This billionaire's blessing is not given for selfishness, nor to hoard, nor to flaunt. It is poured out so that you may become a vessel of God's love and goodness in the earth. When you choose kindness over cruelty, when you lift the weary instead of ignoring them, when you embrace generosity instead of greed, you create a current in the spirit that heaven delights to multiply. I know this to be true because I have lived it. There was a season in my journey when I had little left to give, and yet I felt God whisper to release what I had. It didn't make sense logically, but in obedience I gave. That small act opened doors I didn't even know existed. Blessing after blessing followed, and I learned something life-changing. Generosity is the master key to abundance. The more you pour out, the more God trusts you to carry. So, let this truth settle deep in your spirit. Every time you release love, resources, or encouragement, heaven mirrors it back to you in multiplied form. This is why the enemy fights so hard. He plants fear, doubt, and unworthiness in your heart. He whispers, "It's too much for you. This blessing isn't really meant for you." But hear me. God's plan has never depended on what you deserve. It has always rested on who He island, and He is faithful. So, chosen one, lift your head high. Walk boldly into this season. Prepare your hands to receive. The billionaire's blessing is not a rumor. It is not a distant dream. It is a divine reality already moving swiftly toward you. Heaven has signed your on this transfer, and nothing can revoke it. It is yours. Chosen one, let me whisper a divine secret to your spirit. Every blessing that comes down from heaven is never only about what you receive. It is about who you become. The billionaire's blessing that is flowing toward you will surely place resources in your hands. Yes, but more than that, It will call forth a new version of you to emerge. The wealth that is coming is not meant to make you comfortable alone. It is designed to reveal the strength that trials have forged in you, the depth of your faith that battles have refined, and the beauty of your heart that has endured the storms. This blessing is God's way of showing the world that His chosen ones are extraordinary, set apart for glory. Look at Abraham. When God declared that he would be the father of many nations, everything around him testified against the promise. His age said no. Sarah's barrenness said no. Human logic declared it impossible, and yet Abraham chose to believe. His faith brought forth not only a son, but a legacy that still speaks today. Chosen one. Perhaps your billionaire's blessing doesn't look possible right now. Maybe your bank account is empty. Maybe your environment feels barren. Maybe the numbers don't add up. But God is not bound by earthly conditions. When He decides to bless you, He doesn't check statistics. He doesn't wait for approval. And He surely doesn't ask your enemies. His decree stands eternal. This blessing goes far beyond paid bills and cancelled debts. It is about restoration on every level of your life. God is about to show up in such a powerful way that every barren place will bloom. Broken relationships will be mended. Lost confidence will be restored. Old visions will be renewed. Dreams you thought were dead will be ignited again. Your soul will burn with fresh fire and divine purpose. That is why I say with urgency, do not ignore all this blessing. It has the power to shift everything about your life. But here is your role. Chosen one, God has already written the check in heaven, but faith is the pen that signs it on earth. Your belief is the bridge between the promise and the manifestation. Believe small, and you will see small. Believe boldly, and you will step into overflow. I know what it feels like to wrestle with doubt. I've walked through nights when fear shouted louder than faith, and days when lack seemed permanent. Yet every time I chose to trust God instead of the storm, doors opened that no man could shut. This moment right now is your Kairos moment, your divinely appointed time. Do not let fear cause you to shrink back. Stand in alignment. Speak life over yourself. Wake up declaring, I am chosen, I am blessed. I am walking in divine abundance. Your words are not empty. They create the atmosphere for miracles to manifest. Understand this. Chosen one. The billionaire's blessing is not random. It is precise. It has been designed to position you for influence, for impact, for purpose. You will fund dreams. You will bless families. You will carry God's kingdom into new territory. And as you walk humbly, clothed in gratitude, you will discover the greatest wealth is not in what you hold, but in what you release. So, prepare yourself. Align your spirit. Keep your hands open, because what is coming will not only change your account balance, it will transform your destiny. You are stepping into a season where miracles multiply and heaven's abundance flows without measure. This, chosen one, is your inheritance. Chosen one, as you step deeper into this season, I need you to understand something vital. Blessings attract battles. Every time God elevates you, the enemy gets nervous. He cannot stop what heaven has already released, but he will try to distract you, discourage you, or convince you that you are unworthy. That's why this next phase of your journey requires not just faith, but also armor. You will notice that as your breakthrough draws near, opposition may rise. Friends may misunderstand you. Opportunities may look delayed. Doubts may echo louder. But remember, these are not signs of failure. They are confirmations that you are close. Pressure has never been the end of your story. Just as diamonds are shaped through immense weight, God's chosen servants are strengthened through seasons of refining. Every trial has been preparing you for the blessings ahead, so that when greater responsibility is placed in your hands, you will carry it with wisdom, humility, and unwavering faith rather than pride. I have witnessed this truth firsthand. Before one of the greatest turning points in my own journey, it felt as though everything around me was falling apart. Financial stability disappeared. Relationships unraveled. Fear constantly insisted that my future had reached its end. Yet it was in that difficult valley that I discovered how powerfully God works when every natural answer has been exhausted. Looking back, I now understand that those painful seasons were not signs of defeat. They were evidence that God was strengthening my faith and preparing me for what He had already planned. Chosen one. The same refining work is taking place in your life. Do not allow the enemy's whispers to settle in your heart. He will try to convince you that the promise is unrealistic or that such blessings belong only to someone else. Reject those lies. If God had not intended to bless you, He would never have called you into this season. Your life has already been marked by His purpose. The anointing He has placed upon you cannot be erased or overlooked. Chosen one, keep your attention fixed on His direction. Prosperity without purpose quickly loses its value. But blessings surrendered to God's will become instruments that multiply far beyond personal gain. That is why the Lord is inviting you to do more than simply receive. He is calling you to remain closely connected to His heart. The abundance He desires to entrust to you is not meant to become a burden of possessions, but a resource that empowers you to fulfill your divine assignment with freedom and generosity. You are being prepared to build what others thought impossible. You will become a source of hope, a blessing to those in need, and an encouragement to countless lives. As God works through you, every voice of doubt that once questioned your calling will be silenced by the evidence of His faithfulness. Above all, guard a heart filled with gratitude. Thankfulness keeps your spirit humble, your vision focused, and your relationship with God strong. Begin each new day by praising Him, not only for the blessings already visible, but also for the promises that are still unfolding. Faith expressed through gratitude opens your heart to recognize the goodness of God long before every promise becomes visible. Gratitude is the magnet that pulls the unseen into the visible. Chosen one. The supernatural transfer is already in motion. It's flowing even now through divine connections, unexpected opportunities, sudden breakthroughs. Heaven is aligning every piece. Your only task is to stay in position. Guard your spirit. Stay humble. Keep declaring God's promises, and when the blessing arrives, and it will, you will know it wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was divine orchestration. This billionaire's blessing will shock the doubters. Bless your family and establish your legacy. You are not waiting for it someday. You are walking into it now. Stentel, anointed one. The windows of heaven are open over you. Chosen one. As this billionaire's blessing unfolds, something in you will begin to radiate differently. It will not just be about what you carry in your bank account, but about what you carry in your spirit. You will step into places where once you were overlooked, and suddenly your presence will command attention, not through pride, but through the undeniable fragrance of divine favor. This is the kind of shift that cannot be manufactured. It is the mark of heaven upon you. God is not only transferring resources, He is transferring influence. The authority you are about to walk in will go beyond material wealth. It will be spiritual authority that changes atmospheres. When you speak, hearts will awaken. When you enter a room, solutions will emerge. This is because the oil of God on your life is not meant to be hidden. You are stepping into a season where you become both the message and the evidence. I've seen glimpses of this in my own journey. There was a time when I had almost nothing. But even in lack, people would say, "There's something about you that brings peace." That was God showing me abundance starts in the spirit. And now, chosen one. He is pairing that spiritual overflow with financial overflow. You will not only inspire people, you will empower them. You will not only speak life, you will fund life-changing opportunities. The billionaire's blessing coming your way is not shallow wealth. It is wealth with purpose. Wealth that builds schools, shelters, and legacies. Wealth that provides for families, creates jobs, and restores dignity to communities. This is why the battles were so fierce against you. The enemy was terrified of the impact you would have once resourced. But every fiery trial was forging resilience. Every closed door was shaping discernment. What the enemy meant to silence you will become the testimony that amplifies God's power in your story. Chosen one. Remain anchored. Wealth without wisdom can become a storm. But wealth, rooted in God, becomes a river that never runs dry. Remember this. Money is a servant, not a master. Let it serve your calling. Let it fuel the dreams God placed inside you, not distract you from them. Keep your heart humble and your eyes on Him, and your prosperity will never consume you. God is also orchestrating divine alignments, new mentors, new partnerships, new friendships, people who will not compete with your calling, but will sharpen it. The wrong crowd drains. The right crowd multiplies. Surround yourself with those who recognize the oil on your life and push you to walk boldly in it. These alignments are not random. They are heaven-sent appointments designed for this very season. Chosen one. This billionaire's blessing is not coincidence. It is prophecy fulfilled. It is God declaring through your life that His promises are living, active, and unshakable. Every step you take will testify of His goodness. And as you live with generosity, courage, and gratitude, you will not just receive blessings, you will become a carrier of them. So, walk boldly. Stentel. The transfer is already in motion. The abundance is already flowing. And your life is about to shine as a beacon of God's unstoppable glory. Chosen one. This is the moment we have been building toward. The revelation that your billionaire's blessing is not a faraway dream. It is here. It is unfolding, even as you listen to these words. Heaven has already released it, and earth is aligning to deliver it into your hands. This is your Kairos moment. Your divinely appointed time where everything changes. Do not let fear, comparison, or doubt steal this from you. The world will try to tell you that wealth is only for a few, that you missed your chance, or that you don't deserve it. But God's plan has never been about what you deserve. It has always been about His covenant promises. His word declares that He gives the power to produce wealth And that power is rising in you now. You are not stepping into this blessing by accident. You were chosen, prepared, and refined for it. This billionaire's blessing is more than money. It is a divine reset. Old cycles are breaking. Generational chains are shattering. What held your family back will no longer hold you. You are the one God has handpicked to carry abundance, not only for yourself, but for generations to come. You will establish new legacies. You will plant new seeds. You will open doors that your children and grandchildren will walk through with ease. Chosen one, I encourage you. Embrace this blessing with gratitude. Gratitude is the soil where miracles multiply. Thank God daily for what you see and for what you have not yet seen. Celebrate even the small wins, because they are signs that the floodgates are opening wider. The more you thank Him, the more He entrusts to you. Gratitude keeps your spirit aligned with heaven's flow. And as this transfer manifests, remember humility. Wealth is not proof of your greatness, but of God's goodness. He has trusted you with resources, not so you can boast, but so you can bless. Be the one who builds, who gives, who shines light in dark places. Use your prosperity as a testimony that God is faithful and His promises never fail. I have seen it firsthand. Those who honor God with their abundance never run dry. Their blessings outlive them. Their impact multiplies, and their story inspires others to trust in the same God of provision. That is your future. That is your assignment. Chosen one, hear me clearly. You are stepping into overflow. You are moving from survival to significance, from scarcity to surplus, from just enough to more than enough. The billionaire's blessing is your inheritance, sealed by heaven and confirmed by the Spirit. Walk into it boldly. Now, I invite you, declare your faith today. In the comments, write the words, I am ready. Lord. That simple declaration is a spiritual transaction, aligning your faith with heaven's abundance. And if this message resonates in your soul, share it with someone else who needs to hear it. Together, we are a community of chosen ones rising into divine prosperity. Chosen one, this is your time. This is your moment. Step into it with faith, with joy, and with courage. The promise has arrived. The divine release has begun, and your life is entering a season that will never look the same again. Chosen one, this is your Kairos moment. The time heaven appointed long before you ever recognized it. God's perfect timing has met your journey, and the blessing He prepared is already unfolding before you. The answers you have prayed for, the increase you have believed for, and the breakthrough you have patiently awaited are no longer distant hopes. They are becoming your present reality. You are not standing on the edge of favor, hoping it will find you. You are already walking within it. Beloved, you have been set apart by God for this very hour. Every challenge you overcame, every hidden season of growth, and every tear shed in quiet places has been preparing you for this divine moment. Heaven's storehouses are opening, and what God is releasing into your life will not stop with you. It will touch your family, influence future generations, and become living evidence of His faithfulness. This extraordinary blessing is far more than material increase. It is a sacred assignment wrapped in divine purpose. It is a confirmation of your calling and a reminder that God has chosen you to carry His goodness into the world. Walk confidently into everything He has already prepared. Keep your heart surrendered, your hands ready to receive and give, and your faith firmly rooted in his promises. Live with generosity. Speak with confidence. And remember that no weapon formed against you will succeed, because the Lord himself goes before you. God is surrounding you with his protection, directing your steps, and causing every act of obedience to produce an abundant harvest. Chosen one. Lift your eyes with confidence. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is renewing your strength, breathing fresh life into your dreams, and making a way where none seemed possible. This is your season to shine with purpose, to testify to God's goodness, and to carry his anointing with confidence and humility. Do not shrink back or hesitate. Embrace the calling he has placed upon your life with unwavering faith. If these words have awakened something within your spirit, declare them with bold faith. Speak them, share them, and hold firmly to the expectation that God's promises are already being fulfilled. The blessing is no longer something waiting in the distance. It has entered your life. Go forward with courage. Chosen one. Because the divine work God began has already been set into motion, and nothing can prevent the fulfillment of his perfect plan.